This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. My friend Asheen has been cursed with the need to travel to the underworld. Well, I mean Silicon Valley. In order to find some friends to lunch with, he went to LinkedIn. But to his horror and LinkedIn's delight, the site refused to let him search his contacts. LinkedIn gave him an alert. He had exceeded his search limit for the month and would have to upgrade to a paid plan to access information about his very own contact list. Yay! Welcome to the 21st century. We trust third-party providers with all of our important data. Why? Because it makes life simpler, particularly when you're on the go. And this being the 21st century, on the go is the new black. But we need our contact data. Handing it off to cloud providers leaves us open to extortion. Leaves us open to reasonable service fees. How do we avoid reasonable service fees? By address book, while keeping up convenience, we put the information in our address book on our local machine, and we use our own system to track it. To start, copy your cloud-based contacts into a local contacts book. If you're on a Mac, you can do this in just a few steps. First, go to System Preferences. From there, go to Internet Accounts. You'll see a list of accounts. If you don't, click the plus button in the lower left. Click on one that has some contacts that you want to grab and enter your login information. It'll pop up a list of apps that the account will interact with, including contacts. Click Sign In to connect to the account and wait a few minutes for everything to synchronize. Soon, your Contacts app will contain all of the contacts from that account. If you change your mind later, you can disconnect the account with the option of removing the contacts you got from it by just clicking the minus button in the bottom left of the same menu. What could be easier? What indeed? Well, I'm sure Windows is even easier. So for all you Windows users out there, I won't patronize you by giving you the instructions. Microsoft, on the other hand, surely has plenty of documentation lying around that will tell you everything you need to know. And as my friends who use Windows assure me every single day, it's far superior to the Mac in every possible way, so I'm sure that it will be easy peasy to do the same thing from your Windows machine. Note nearby cities. Now that you have a local copy of your contacts, prime your address book for travel. Put the names of nearby cities and regions in the notes field for each entry. For example, if a contact lives in Brooklyn, New York, you would put New York area in the notes field. Then you can find out who you know in the area with one quick search. Include all of the major cities and regions near them. Then you only need to search for New York, and you'll get everyone who lives in the surrounding towns and boroughs. Once he organizes his contacts this way, Asheen can check out who to meet up with. And he doesn't even need the cloud, because after all, we all know that Fly-Fi sucks. It's just another reason why a local contacts book on your computer really is the better option. In his case, he just tags everyone in San Francisco, Mountain View, Redwood City, San Jose, Atherton, Palo Alto, and Oakland as Silicon Valley. He filters his contacts for the keyword Silicon Valley, and everybody nearby pops up. And now he might discover that his much-loved and respected second-grade teacher lives in Marin County and runs a Grandma Cuddles daycare franchise. But while Asheen wants to see Ms. Bowie, he also wants to get out of his hotel and head out for some hardcore socializing with friends. But he needs a way to find out what activities people are into. So use your contacts book to record interests. Again, the notes field comes to the rescue. Add interests to the notes field of each contact so you can find things to do when you travel together. Now it's easy to find everyone whose interests line up. Bowling, movies, sustainability, Kimbaku. You can list it all and make sure you don't end up doing the wrong thing with the wrong people. Grandma Cuddles wouldn't approve. On his last trip, Asheen met a set of triplets at the Abbey doing penance for their past sins. He noted that their interests are knitting exciting underwear. Why do you think they needed to be doing penance anyway? Making Oreo ice cream cake, and listening to rock and roll. This trip, he looks them up and immediately has 3 ideas for things to do. He's feeling wholesome tonight, so he chooses Oreo ice cream cake as the evening's activity. Obviously, any sane person would. Since he's up for a group activity, he does a quick contacts search for Oreo ice cream cake, and he quickly discovers that several other of his Silicon Valley friends also share his passion, including his second-grade teacher. So tonight, he'll get to have his cake and freeze it too. You should also make a paper copy of your local address book. It's well established that during any form of apocalypse, nuclear, zombie, or vampire, the power grid gets fairly unstable. With a paper contacts list, you'll still be able to call your Bruce Willis-esque friend to come and rescue you from your Julia Roberts-esque emergency, assuming, of course, that the phones still work. A physical copy also provides an instantly accessible backup in case a device runs out of power, breaks, or gets lost. When Asheen's phone dies in the middle of dinner with his old teacher, it might spell doom for his plans for a late-night cookie binge with the triplets. Fortunately, though, he planned for the worst and kept a paper contact list in his coat pocket. It's simple enough matter to borrow the teacher's phone after the show, look up the triplets' phone numbers, and quickly pin down those details. So don't trust the cloud with your most precious data. Own your own community. Download copies of all your contacts on a regular basis, import them into your address book, and use the notes field to code people's locations and interests. Socializing becomes a snap, and with a paper backup copy, you're good to go even if the power isn't. You have a local contact address book, and you can beat the cloud extortionists at their own game. This is Steve Robbins. Follow Get It Done Guy on Twitter and Facebook. I run webinars to help people have extraordinary careers. If you want to know more, visit steverrobbins.com. That's STEVERROBBINS.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.